All right, good evening, race fans, and welcome to beautiful, sunny Daytona Motor Speedway, where we are live tonight with the Cyber Racing Association Homes Now Series. We are doing the Super Speedway Challenge race, and this is going to be race 1 of 3 tonight. We'll be running 3 cars on 3 tracks. Obviously, the first race here will be the fixed setup with the Xfinity cars. The second race will be Daytona night for another 30-lap shootout with the open Xfinities. And then the final race will be a 50-lap battle at Talladega Super Speedway with the open trucks. So we've got a lot of racing in store tonight, and hope you guys are ready for one hell of a show, because these guys definitely know one thing, and that's mastery of plate tracks. But now we're going to get to see it on all 3 levels. Look at the weather here. Of course, it's a nice 78 degrees, track temp 103.66, 55% relative humidity, partly cloudy out. Right now we're taking a look at the 03 of Kevin Hash there. We've got roughly about 3 minutes remaining here in practice. Now the qualifying times are already done prior to the race, but what we'll go over here is the way the point system is going to work tonight. Bonus points are as follows. For starting on the pole, you get 1 bonus point. Race winner gets 3. Lead 1 or more laps, you get 1 bonus point. Lead the most, you get 2. Finish without any incidences, there's another 2. Now, the only downside is for every 12 incidences that you get, you're docked negative 5 points. But I don't think we're going to see too much of that going on. So you see we got a good little 4-car group here getting up to speed. And we are rocking the new overlays this week, so we've got a little bit more to play with. As we see right there, a little bit of hopefully what we don't see in the race happen. We get some action. I believe that was in turn 2. Now it's turns 3 and 4 as we see more of it going on. Good to get that out here in practice. Take a look at the RPMs real quick. Here's you're looking at the 65 of Marty Ray. He's right about 7,000 RPMs in 4th gear. See if those RPMs increase a little bit. You can see where he's actually feathering the throttles a little bit, being in the draft. Right along the cockpit here. And that's going to wrap up practice here. So we're going to advance, I do believe, right into the starting grid tonight. All right, so as these drivers are gridding up, at this time I'd like everybody to please rise and remove their hats as we bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band for the National Anthem. Alright, as we are less than half a lap away here from taking the green flag, since this is set up tournament style, the qualifying was supposed to be in Dan Lisa, but it did not show up. As we can see though, the 44 is on the pole. We'll let these guys get sorted out here, and then we'll go ahead and run through the top 10. But here we go. The pace car gets ready to dive down pit road. What better way than to start a race than on a crank it up? So let's get ready to run. 30 laps here at Daytona. The pace car is off. Green flag should be coming out.
Flag.
Green flag is out, and we are live. Alright, so as we made one lap there, nothing bad happened yet, so good clean lap. 29 laps remaining here. Let's go ahead and take a look. We got the 44 of David Anderson out front. 29 of Matthew Balzenbach second. Marty Ray in the 65 third. Paul Servant in the 9 fourth. Gary Champion in the 18 fifth. Harry Tiller in the 112 in sixth right now. Daniel Harrington in the 82 seventh. Michael DeGroat in the 90 is your 8th place car. The 98 of Jeff Figlin is 9th, and Adam Eisenhower will round out the top 10 in the 86. You can see these guys are pretty well all bunched together. Looks like a little bit of a tiny backpack starting to form, but with the way that these cars handle here, they're probably laying back to just in case the big one does happen. As we see that there's a lap car already involved, so they might be laying back and just waiting towards the end of the race to make their run, seeing how these K&N cars do have such an amazing draft. But the amount of cars that are back there, they should have no problem being able to make it right back up to the tail end of that pack, because they're already doing so on the backstretch. We take a quick look here on the 112 of Harry Tiller. We see speeds of 203. Oh, we got a wreck.
Caution's out. There better be some real fucking problem out there to throw the damn caution.
Looked like that might have been some connection issues because I saw the car flipping. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened there. We're going to go on board with the 01 of Travis Brown. Here we see it, the Fox camera. Ooh, yeah, that was connection issue, and all of a sudden they just disappeared. Interesting. You see everybody slowing down. Looks like they might have to wait for the pace car to catch up. Yep, they do. There comes Brett Bodine. Somebody needs to tell Brett that that car does have a nitrous button, and when the caution comes out, that might be a good time to use it. So we see some tickets for pit road here.
So Art, what I saw was that the 01, he tried to make it 3 wide up between the 52 and the 96, and there wasn't quite enough room. He wasn't quite clear, and he crunched the nose of the 96 and put himself head-on nose into the wall.
Interesting. That's why we always have a second set of eyes on this, because on my screen I did not even see any of that. I just saw 2 cars that looked like they were having connection issues, and as soon as the one went airborne, they both disappeared. So that's why we always have more than one person up here, so if I miss something, it can be corrected. Alright, so David Anderson in that 44 machine still holding on to the top spot as we are working the first caution here. The 65 of Marty Ray is your second place scoring car. Now these guys do have a chance to run down pit road, but don't really need to. You can definitely make the 30 laps on fuel and tires, but it's totally down to driver preference as to whether they want to pit or not. And if we see any more of the front runners come in, which we are not going to, the top 10 is going to consist of David Anderson, the 44 first, the 65 of Marty Ray second, the 18 of Gary Champion third, Paul Savant in the 9 fourth, Daniel Harrington, who used to rock the psychedelic kitty paint job in that 82 machine. He is your 5th place car right now. The 98 of Jeff Figlin 6th, Michael DeGroat in the 97th, Adam Eisenhower in the 86 8th, Scott Warren, who, that's a familiar name, used to race at Die Hard with us in the 76. He is in 9th spot, and the 54 of Chris Akers is going to round out the top 10. So we will go yet another lap here. Hopefully we will see the lights on that Mustang pace car go out as we come to the line. They are just now coming out of the backstretch here. Let's ride on board with our leader. As they cross the stripe, the lights on the pace car are out. We will double these guys back up, and we will restart this race with 23 laps to go here at Daytona with the K&N cars. Now remember, this is just race 1 of 3, so we still got a lot more racing to go after this one is done. And look at Brett Bodine. He can barely see over that steering wheel. Somebody needs to give him a booster seat. That, or he needs to learn that there's buttons on the side that raise and lower the seat. That's a full power leather seat in that iRacing pace car. As we get ready for the pace car to come off, that means one thing. You know what that is, Alan. Go ahead and tell everybody.
It's time to crank it up one more time. Lock them seatbelts down.
Pace car is off.
Green flag.
We are back racing. 23 laps to go here at Daytona in the K&N cars. As they come to the stripe this time, but it will be the 65 of Marty Ray leading that lap. He's got the 9 of Paul Servant behind him pushing, as well as the 98 of Jeff Figlin down on the inside. We've got the 44 of David Anderson, first car on the inside line, being pushed by the 18 of Gary Champion and the 82 of Daniel Harrington. You guys may look at the lap counter, and 21 laps may not seem like a lot of time, but that is an eternity still for these cars, because a lot can go wrong in a very short amount of time. So a lot of these guys still might wait until about the 10 lap window before they start to make their move, because we all know you try to make a move too early, usually you're going to get left out on your own, especially with these cars, because just the amazing run you can get with the side draft. I mean, these cars are just absolute draft monsters.
Yeah, you know, Art, I was just watching that. They were kind of in 3 packs, and then that middle pack just joined the front pack, and now the back pack is rolling the whole pack back in again after that restart. So, I mean, it goes to show you could have a pretty rough restart, but if you got a good enough group of guys, you can roll the field right back together and tighten everything back up.
Hell, I think you can miss a gear in one of these cars on a restart and it's still not going to mess things up too badly.
It all depends if the guy behind you realizes you missed a gear.
Yeah, this is very true. Out front, we see that outside line is still showing its bit of muscle there. They're not quite able, though, to at least get the front 2 cars to clear to drop down. They get the run on that outside. Now, as always, the inside line should have the run on the beginning of entry of corner, but on that outside, you can see the exit of the corner. That outside lane is just getting such a better run, and as we go to the stripe this time, the 65 of Marty Ray will lead again. He actually was clear enough to drop, but you don't want to drop without your partner because then you're kind of burning a bridge. Now, there are several teams racing here tonight, so you definitely don't want to piss off one of your teammates. That's definitely a big no-no because with 2 more races to go, you got to rely on your teammates to help you get where you need to go in these races.
And that is a definite. You definitely need your teammates, but you know, when it comes to that last lap, teammates is pretty much out of the window.
No, teammate is no longer a word. It's every man for himself. But we did see, like last week at Daytona circa 07, that it didn't really matter because even though we had that big wreck during the end, when we interviewed 3rd place, because I believe it was 4th on back where the wreck happened, it didn't matter.
That was close. They were 3 wide coming out of the turn there.
And as we see a little bit of shifting there on the backstretch. But touching back to last week, it does not matter, apparently, to some of these guys that they'll stick with their teammate even if it means they'll get a 3rd and a 4th spot finish. But the way it shook out last week, they were in strong contention for the lead. And I do believe if the caution did not come out, that outside line, and we got a car in the apron there that shoved down there, he's able to make his way back up. But now we are definitely a little bit botched up. That bottom line is going to lose a little bit of momentum there as they are forced to kind of slow down and let that car back up off. Now, if that was 07 Daytona, he probably would have went around as bumpy as it was. That would be the 90 there of Michael DeGroat. He got forced below the apron.
Yeah, it was good of them guys to check up a little bit and let him back in line, because if he would have gone into the corner on the apron, it would have been a mess.
Well, it would have been a disaster. So right now, the battle right here at the lead, they are pretty much nose to nose as they come across the line. Who's going to get it this time? It'll be the 65 of Marty Ray again. That one, I think we'd have to bust out a micrometer to tell by how much. So you see it's 3 wide here. The 54 looks like he might have got shoved out a little bit, but I think that upper line, no, he's still stuck up there, so he's able to clear it and finally get back down in.
Yeah, it looks like the 54, he got bumped up out of line, then he had just about a width of a paper between the bumper of that 76 as he dropped back in.
No, it's all about confidence. If you feel that you're clear and you can see it, and I know a lot of these guys go in like we've done with the app INI for iRacing. We set that spotter tolerance to pretty much dead zero, so when it says clear, that you are clear. As these guys are just absolutely barreling down the backstretch here. See speeds at 205 as they go into the corner, and that's just the front running cars. You can imagine behind it's even faster. So we see as they come off the corner, 199. We got a car low and slow making his way on the pit road as they cross the line at 201 miles an hour. David Anderson, the 44, is going to sneak in with that one. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the RPMs these cars are running right now. They're right around 7,500 RPM. These cars do redline at 8,000. Take a quick look at the top 5. It's going to move around a little bit due to the way that these programs detect the cars on the track, but top 5 right now, leader that time by was Marty Ray in the 65 first, David Anderson in the 44 second, Paul Servant in the 9 third, Gary Champion 4th in the 18, and Daniel Harrington in the 82 will be the 5th place car.
Wrecking, 82's around. Oh, there goes the
Oh, yeah, we got a big wreck. The big one has happened.
Wow.
Wow, that was a massive wreck.
How are you doing, bud?
So caution is out again. This will be the second caution of the race, and we're going to go back and take a look at that one because that was a big one. So we're going to go and we're going to look at, let's see. We're going to look from probably, let's try the spotter camera of the 82 here. You see, this is the box camera. We see him getting bumped there by the 8, and he goes through a car, but then after that, all hell ensues behind it. So, not so bad there, but some other cars definitely did not fare too well on that one. Right on the nose here of the 8 of Dana Osborne. We can see there is some barbecuing going on down there in the turn 3. A lot of tore up cars there though. As we wait to see the field come around with the pace car here. So we have wave-bys going on here. Now this will be their last opportunity, I do believe, because as far as we've known, with 10 laps to go, that's when the cutoff is for the wave-bys. So this should be the last set of cars we see getting the wave around. So running through the top 10, it's still the 65 of Marty Ray out front, Paul Servant in the 9 second, the 18 of Gary Champion third, Adam Eisenhower in the 86 holding down that 4th spot, David Warren in the 28 5th, Michael Cozy Jr. in the 77 6th, the 112 of Harry Tiller in 7th, Rick Seabrands in the 2 car, 8th. The 44 of David Anderson will be your 9th place car, and Daniel Holloway in the 26 will round out the top 10 here on this restart. So next time by, we should get the 1 to go here, as we are going to be restarting in single-digit laps here. We see another wave-by taking place here, so that'll get another car back on the lead lap. And while we are on caution, we will take a quick little break here, and we will get back to, hopefully, the guys all double filed up. right, the lights on the pace car are back out again, so we will restart with 8 laps to go here. Alan, what do you think is going to happen here? Are we going to see some clean racing up here in the front, or do you think everybody's going to have that it's go time mentality?
You know, honestly, Aaron, I am not sure. These guys are going to all want to go, but it sounds like the gridding order right now is, the restart order rather, is a little messed up.
So we might be looking at the possibility of a delayed green. Sure, they'll get things sorted out. As you can see, the heavy damage there on the nose of the 28. As long as he can stay behind the car, that should not affect him too bad. But get him out alone, that'll be a parachute for sure.
Well, I hope it ends out nice and clean and green here, and we'll figure out who wins what here.
As the pace car drops, green flag is back out. 8 laps to go here at Daytona. Let's see who is going to bring it home in victory lane and see if these guys can bring it home under the green flag.
Caution, caution.
And we got a caution.
Any feeling about the car at all?
Alright, apparently we're going to see a bit of a wild ride here. The 8 of Dana Osborne, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what happened. Now let's see what happens here. You see right there, the 8 on the low line behind the 82, and then you see that Jack Daniels machine right behind them. So far everything looks good. So, oh, we see contact there between the, oh wow. Oof, hard hit. Ouch. Now these first 2 races here are set to expire on time, so if the caution does come out, it will be the end. Now the third and final race, however, it will be set up in the normal form of green-white checker finishes, and we will have the NASCAR overtime. We're going to look on board with the leader once again here. You see some more wave-bys going around. You see that our leader obviously staying down on the apron as we've got more cars that are going to be getting waved by. You can hear the clutching going on right now inside the 65. See what happens. Do the lights go out? Nope, we will ride around for yet at least 2 more laps before we set this thing back green. So that's giving us the possibility of probably a 3-lap shootout here. We take a look behind the leader, you can see the field there. Oh no, I thought Jeff Badine was going to run over Digger. Oh, there's one over Digger. Now that's one camera we know you're going to have to go out and fix before the next race.
I don't know, those are pretty tough cameras. They should hold out.
I sabotaged a few of them earlier. So this time by, we should see the lights on the pace car go out, and we will get these guys doubled back up, and we should restart with 3 laps remaining here. And now it's no longer a question. It's definitely going to be go time because these cars take about 2 laps to get up to full speed, fully wound up. So by the time that they're fully wound up, the white flag should be out, provided we don't get another caution. But either way, the next flag will end the race. As the lights are out, we'll double the field up one last time and put this first race in the books. So your starting lineup here in the top 10 for restart: 65 of Marty Ray out front, the 9 of Paul Servant second, 18 of Gary Champion third, 86 of Adam Eisenhower fourth. Rick Seabrins in that 2 car, you can see him there. He will be your 5th place, the 77 of Michael Causey Jr., 6th, the 112 of Harry Tiller 7th, David Warren in the 28, 8th, Daniel Holloway in the 26, 9th, and David Anderson in the 44 will round out the top 10. Yep. Now, one of the key things to note here, the end of this race, the top 30 will advance on to the next round. The rest of them will be loading up into their haulers and heading back to North Carolina. Or if you're Martin Truex, all the way back out to Denver. So as we are already in the crank it up cam, pace car is getting ready to dive down pit road. We will have 3 laps to determine what happens. Either we have another wreck or these guys run it out green. Remember, 2 laps for these cars to fully get up to speed, so we might look at a 1-lap shootout here to see who's going to take this one.
Man, the front of that car looks like a shovel.
Yes, it does. As they come to the line here, we see the 18 of Gary Champion. He is ducked out to the outside. 2 laps to go here at Daytona. It's still anybody's ball game. But right now, it looks like that outside line really wants to make something happen. Be interesting to see what the 18 and the 9 can do out there. Right now, it looks like they might have dropped back just a hair. So it looks like we got a little bit of 3 wide going on. That inside line, we see the 77 just absolutely glued to the back bumper of that 65 as they go into turn 3 here. That top side line needs to get a little bit more organized because we're going to be taking the white flag here if they want to do anything to try and get that win. The white flag is out, so 3 more corners and we will find out who is going to take home the checkered flag here. As we can see, that outside line's not looking as favorable as it was earlier in the race. They come down the backstretch for the last time. You can see now the 18 and the 9 are hooked up, but is it going to be enough as they come off of turn 4? I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. Oh, as we see, oh, the 18 got shoved high to 77. We're going to have a 3 wide finish here. We get the 112 on the apron. Strange turn of events. The 18 of Gary Champion. He's going to win the first one. Who would have thought they were getting forced 3 wide? The 18 that looked like he was all but out of it, he actually was able to turn around and bring it home in first. Now that was a good finish. So you see right there, our race winner, the 18 of Gary Champion. That was definitely one of the better finishes that we have seen in a long time. 3 wide there at the line. As we get our race winner brought in here. We're dealing with just a little thing here in TeamSpeak right now. Our race winner has his mic muted, so as soon as we can get that undone, we will go ahead and get the interview underway. While we're waiting for that, I'll go ahead and pull up the race results here. Coming home with the win, and apparently word is that we weren't able to get communication with him. The 18 of Gary Champion is going to bring it home in first tonight. Marty Ray in the 65 is going to bring home second. The 77 of Michael Cozy Jr. is going to bring it home third. Paul Servant in the 9 fourth. Rick Seabrand's fifth. Adam Eisenhower in the 86 will come home 6th. Harry Tiller in the 112 7th. Scott Warren in the 76 8th. David Anderson in the 44 9th. Daniel Holloway is going to round out the top 10. 11th we have the 03 of Kevin Hash. Earl Arts Jr. will bring it home 12th. The 28 of David Warren 13th. The 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer 14th. James Peterson in the 58 15th. 54 of Chris Akers, 16th. Michael Coe in the 2017th. Dwayne Cooper in the 00, 18th. The 98 of Jeff Figlin, 19th. The 90 of Michael DeGroat is going to round out the top 20. 21st will go to the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, Artie Peterson Jr. in the 1 22nd, Bobby Tinch in the 66 23rd, the 10 of Josh Mayu 24th, Daniel Harrington in the 82 25th, Lance Marsh in the 60 will hold 26th, 27th, the 96 of Jason Roadbush. Spencer Peretti is going to bring out home 28th in the 27, Elizabeth Patterson in the 52 29th, Travis Brown in the 01 will round out the top 30. So we go further back. 31st, we have the 97 of Jeremy Funk, the 45 of Philip Moore in 32nd, Thomas LeBon in the 99 33rd, Sean Roper in the 32 34th, Matt Spalding in the 15 35th, Dan Osborne in the 8, who we saw unfortunately on his lid. He will come in 36th, and rounding out the field will be the 72 of Daniel Jackson. Now, once again, only the top 30 advance from this race into the next one, which will be the B Open at Daytona night. So that's going to do it tonight for the first race, but stay tuned as we will be back with the second one here in just a few minutes.